Good evening and welcome to the MODUS Super Series here on Sporty Stuff TV. It's Friday night, which means the culmination of Group B. Before we look ahead to tonight's action, let's have a look at the best of yesterday's highlights. And that is what happened in Group B yesterday. And so we get underway with tonight's action. Scott Baker and Niall Culleton is our first game of the evening. Overnight, 3 players at the top of the group on 6 points. Mike Warburton, Scott Baker, who will be playing in the first game, and Gavin Carlin. Mike Gillet has work to do if he's going to get himself through, but he didn't play bad yesterday to get the 2 points that he got on the boards. He was very philosophical when he spoke to me earlier on this evening about his chances of getting through. He's just going to try and play like he did last night and just hope that the opportunities arise for Niall Culleton. For him, it's going to be about getting as many points on the board as conceivably possible. But Scott Baker really has been one of the players of the week so far. We've seen plenty of highlights, a plethora of highlights from him in matter of fact, and he'll be hoping to progress his way through to tomorrow night's final. And you can join us for those finals. It's £5 on dartshop.tv, and those ticket prices then be redeemable behind the bar. So then, it is game 1 of our Friday night here at the MODUS Super Series. It is Scott Baker up against Niall Culleton, and it is going to be watched in the very capable hands of our all-star commentary team. It's primetime Matthew Edgar, and first, there's a very good evening to Chris Mason.
Thank you very much, Henry. And
was that okay?
Very much looking forward.
No worries. Apologies, it was a bit scrappy, but
to this session. And
no worries.
Can Mike Gillet, Matt, make a bit of a comeback?
Well, he's got to from the off, hasn't he? If he loses that first game, this group's pretty much wrapped up, and that could be done in game 2. Mike Gillet will be on next after this game. He'll be playing Gavin Carlin, someone who we think it's wrapped up for, but actually when you look at the bookies' odds, is Niall Culleton, who you can see here, the 35-year-old from Kilkenny. The bookies are offering 100 to 1, which means he must mathematically still be able to win this group.
Well, he is mathematically capable of... Well, he is, yeah, but the series of results would have to be seriously bizarre. One thing for sure, if he wins this opening match, he most definitely keeps his hopes alive. And he will have fond memories of this match last night. It was his worst performance of the night.
66.
Got a little hot under the collar. Remember, he is coming off a big absence away from the sport.
100.
A bit of a house move and then a couple of operations. Tell you what, I like that shirt. Bit of me, that.
He's been sort of put through the ringer a bit, hasn't he? We did see some darts changes last night, and it looks like we've got whether, I don't know if that's a darts change or just a colour change, but there's certainly a change in the equipment from what we saw from the 2 sets that he was using last night.
Yeah, I think this was the second set he tried and quickly reverted back to the original. I think they look similar. I think they may be just the ones with a gold coating, and the other ones may have originally been gold coated, because the coating will come off after a time. Well, you have to put them close together. Mine stay gold.
140. Scott, you require 40.
So Niall's 100 to 1 to win this group. Scott Baker was 2 to 1.
Scott Baker.
That is a price that is a little bit big. I quite like the 2 to 1 on Scott Baker to win this one.
Yeah, we both sort of had a look at each other when we noticed those odds. He was 1 to 3 to win this match. 9 to 4 about Niall. Following this one, big game for Mike Gillet facing Gavin Carlin.
43.
The biggest game of the group so far, that one. Mike Gillet is in a situation where he has to win that game, or this group's pretty much wrapped up. And you sort of feel a little bit for Mike Gillet. He was probably the best player.
Well, statistically, mate, he was the best player, wasn't he?
By far, 91.76 was his average yesterday. The closest to him was Scott Baker. Scott Baker with an 87, so he was 4 and a bit points better than the second best average, but yet he's only got 2 points on the board and potentially
100.
facing elimination quite early.
Yeah, nothing quite went his way last night. That can happen. We see that
100.
plenty of occasions, but Niall 77 for the night, which is not, well, it's below where he would
91.
expect to be, of course. Gillet 91.76. Warby picked up 3 wins with a running average of 84, well below par.
60. Niall with
Carlin
146.
playing much better, isn't he? His confidence had been boosted in Group A. And Baker 87.58 for the night.
58.
We can just go back to Mike Warburton there, running an 84 average, and is now the bookies' favourite to win this group. When we go back
85.
to Mike Gillet, we can
No,
say
we
how
require
harshly he's treated when he's
88.
nearly on the 92 and he's only got 2 points.
Yeah, just the one win last night, wasn't it, for Mike Gillet? And that came
Niall Culleton won that one 4-0.
40.
Yeah.
Scott, you're 113.
92.49.
Yeah, solid performance. That was pretty much around where he was for the night.
53. No, we require 48.
Niall Culleton to hold 48. Eaton tops.
Game show on the
He
second
was
leg.
very good in this area of the board
Niall
yesterday,
Culleton.
actually. He didn't get many darts at a double, but when we look at those tops and those fives, those darts at the top end of the board, he had 6 darts at tops
Philip
yesterday and hit
Scott to
3.
throw first.
Well, he had
Game
the
on.
2 out of 2
second-
and 5.
Second best conversion rate in terms of doubling all night, didn't he? Although he didn't pick up a win, his
100.
doubling percentage 35.29. The only person with a higher stat was the man playing in this match, Scott Baker,
81.
37.5.
Here's a stat for you, and it's wrote in red pen.
I like the red ones.
43.
When it's in red pen, that means it's important. That means it's big. Scott Baker yesterday had 10 legs where he threw first, won all 10.
Yeah, that's a fabulous stat for you as a player, just to know that nobody broke your throw.
If you want some more red
45.
pen news, Niall Culleton only broke the throw once all night, which if that stat
60.
is looked at, we've got to say that Scott Baker is the strong favourite, and the bookies are rightfully putting him at 1 to 3 for this one.
45.
Yeah, you look at the matches this evening where he has the throw. He had the throw in this one, but will only have the throw
123.
in the final match of the session against Gavin Carlin. By that point, maybe all the work will have been done.
60.
If you cast your mind back to Group A when we was looking at this throw for and against, Scott Baker was more liable to win a leg against the throw than he was on the throw. So he's certainly tightened up in these evening sessions.
Well, if he combines both, he wins tomorrow night.
That's all you've got to do, innit? Win with the throw and break the throw when
60.
you're against
Scott,
it.
you
And
require
And
40.
that's when we talk about, again, board management, it's about getting all the elements
Game show
to
the third
align.
leg. Scott Baker.
Because more often than not, you'll have sessions or periods of play where you don't feel like you could miss a
Fourth leg, it's Niall to throw
treble,
first.
but can't hit a double, and then you'll have periods of play where your finishing's good, but your scoring's not great.
41.
now, Niall started this game quite well. He started the night well last night. And then as the night went on, it sort of got gradually worse. Now, when
45.
you've had a break, and in his words, I don't know what I'm going to do, I'm going to see where I am, you don't have much resistance to negativity.
85.
You don't feel like you've got a lot in the locker. And his opening match last night,
59.
as you mentioned, he was edged out by Gavin Carlin, 4-3, but he did average 84.8.
80.
which was his highest average of the night.
Yeah, so it gradually
60.
got worse. It was that 84.8, then it was an 82.15, a 75, and ended with a 67.
And that's a perfect example of what you said. You don't feel like you've got a lot of
97.
resilience or resistance, but this is better.
When you're still on that
139.
stage on your own, and you're asking yourself questions, and you don't know the answers.
And a lot of your darts are
36.
Sort of like guessing, isn't it? You're more hoping than lumping them in the targets.
And that's kind of what he said
44.
in his own words.
Yeah.
Hope.
Yeah. Because we were desperately trying to find some data, and we just wondered if he played locally, and then
100.
obviously he did that
154.
interview with Henry, wasn't it, where he said that he just doesn't know how he's going to play because he's not been
60.
playing.
No, you require 62.
Double 10. Well, he'll stay there. Another 15. Leaves double 16.
Game shot on the
He's
fourth.
getting away with this at the moment.
Niall
His
Culleton.
2 winning legs have been in 20 and 21 darts. He won't get away with that for too long
Scott to throw
before
first.
Baker ultimately breaks through. Doesn't need to break through. And if that trend continues of
100.
being rock solid on throw, he will win the match.
No one broke him in this group so far, but Niall making a move on that one. Good 140 to open.
45.
Scott was actually defeated in his opening match of the night by Gavin Carlin, despite averaging
78.
94.4 to Gavin Carlin's 87.05. Both had a bit of double
45.
trouble in that one. There was 23 darts missed at a double in its entirety of the match.
So you know what, let's get out the
45.
box of ifs. Let's open that up for a couple of minutes. We're saying that Mike Gillet needs to win this next game against Gavin Carlin to keep his
99.
hopes alive. But actually, by that happening, we're completely dismissing that Niall Culleton beats Scott Baker. Then that result doesn't come as
58.
important for Mike Gillet, because that'll keep Scott Baker on 6.
Yep. I mean, Mike Gillet's
55.
got to win 3 out of 4. Ideally, he wins 4 out of 4. That would put him on 10 points.
43. Scott, you require 150.
Don't forget, if you want to join us here at the Modus Live Lounge in Portsmouth, you can get your tickets on dartshop.tv.
37.
It's a £5 deposit, redeemable on arrival. Via a
29.
drinks token.
Scott, you require 76.
Don't worry, it's not £5 a pint. It's way cheaper than that.
68. Niall,
Well,
you require 108.
this could be huge. Trouble 17. Oh, that's unlucky. Well thrown dart, as you could see from that shot. It was right on the money.
88.
So
Scott, you
for this,
require 8.
for his 13th
Game shot
consecutive
on the
hold of
fifth
throw,
leg. Scott Baker.
with a 22 dart hold, who's in front for a 3rd time.
So if it's Niall to throw first.
And that is another holder throw for
60.
Scott Baker. That column just gets more and more impressive as the nights go.
Well, we spoke all week about habits, haven't we, and trends.
76. $137.
Got a
180.
In the opening leg. Yeah. Could get one if this is the last one. He could sandwich them in. But Niall Culleton is not going to let that happen too easy. Good reaction here from Niall, which something we get to
100.
see. Just shows that that day yesterday could have acted as a good day of practice.
Well, it's looking that way at the moment.
71. Scott, you require
That's
145.
A 9 count on 19s to leave. Double 4, and he's going to force Baker here
No, you require
into
8.
a 7th and deciding leg. If.
No score.
dear.
Scott, you require 40. $20. Now we require 8.
Did not expect that. His stats going in to that visit.
Game
was
shot on the
50%,
sixth
3
leg.
out of 6 on the
Niall
doubles.
Culleton.
But it is Niall Culleton who does get a 6th holder throw in this
7th
match.
and final leg. It's Scott to throw first.
You took
Game
the words
on.
right out of my mouth with that one. Did not expect Baker to miss that double. It goes to a last leg shootout. But one thing that really encouraging here for Niall is yesterday the release was all wrong. The darts was going in at angles, high, low. We're getting a similar angle of entry.
100.
And the flight of the dart is looking so much nicer tonight. So that's just showing that release, which will come back with a bit of rhythm, a bit of timing.
Well, it was the point and the point of release yesterday that was the big issue. He just couldn't get the timing correct.
You can't cheat that. You can't drink that. You can't
No.
eat that. The only way to do that is going through it and putting the time in. You would have had a good bit of time on the board yesterday. We're live for about 3 or so hours. We've been here a couple of hours before that as well. So 5 hours he'd been in that practice room yesterday, and he's already reaping the rewards here with a better
45.
angle and a better lie on the dart.
Well, I think you came out with a great phrase of crash course darts. He said that yesterday.
100. It's got your
He's
record
holding on
16.
to Baker here. 116 plays 101. So he will get an opportunity
100.
at
Now we record
101
101.
to pick up a very, very important win.
81.
Trying to
Scott, you require
book his ride
16.
into Saturday night. Tomorrow night. Finals night.
12.
They're a long way off.
Now we require 20.
What a way for Niall to pick up his first win, and he does pick up his first win. Baker, the 1-3 favourite, beaten by Niall Culleton, who was priced enough. As Culleton wins 4 legs to 3. Coming up next, a massive match for Mike.